This is Mike from American Sur-Ron, and today we're going to install DB Industries Footpegs and Footpeg Support on this Sur-Ron Light Bee. Aggressive riding will cause a lot of stress on this footpeg bracket. As your weight is on here, you will fatigue this bracket on either side and actually break them, especially if you're riding aggressively through whoops or jumping. So to combat that, we have the Footpeg Support. We offer it in raw and in black anodized, whatever looks better on your bike. We're going to install this in here. It's pretty simple. It just goes between these two, and all we have to do is loosen these two bolts. You can use your regular Allen key or more fancy Allen driver like this. So we're just going to break these two bolts loose and then loosen them up quite a bit. You don't have to take them all the way out. You can loosen them quite a bit just to allow enough room to get the support in there. Install it in the other end, and in there, and retighten the bolts. And that's all there is to it. Just slide it in, and it just prevents the fatigue from happening on this part. And this part can be kind of hard to come by sometimes, getting it in the US or even wherever your country is. A lot of times they're out of them because they do break when people get aggressive on it. Retorque the bolts, 13 foot-pounds, or if you still have the original marks on there, you can line them back up, and that should be approximately the correct torque. That's all there is to it. All right, the first one we're going to install is the aluminum foot peg. What you get in the kit is the right and left foot peg, a couple of foot peg pivot pins, some cotter pins to hold it together, and a right and left spring. And we'll see which one goes on which peg here in a few minutes. Now, this aluminum foot peg is a pretty inexpensive peg. It's about $20, and it's good for street riding or light dirt riding. But if you're going to ride aggressively or even jumping, you're going to want a different foot peg. This won't do. You'll want something more like the stainless steel foot peg, which we'll go over that installation in a few minutes. So let's get this on the bike. So we'll get the right hand foot peg, which that's what we have, and the correct spring. There is a right and a left spring, so you have to make sure that it goes on the right way. There's the two. They are different. And it goes, the large gap goes over the top of the foot peg, so it goes on top of it, and the small one goes in the bracket there. You push it in. It's kind of tricky. You have to hold it in place when you grab the pin and push the pin through. You have to work it. It could be a little tricky until you get it all the way through. And then install a new cotter pin. And then bend it over so it won't come out. And that's all there is to it. All right, now we're going to install the DB stainless steel foot peg. This is a much higher quality foot peg, beautiful brushed finish, much more robust for serious riding. This is the foot peg that you're going to want to use. So installing it is similar to the other ones. You have two different springs. You have to decide which spring is the right and which spring is the left, and it goes on very similar to the aluminum over the top. The L goes over the top. So this is the other side. Hey, it ain't gonna fit. So we'll stick it on the top side, push it into place. It'll require a little bit of force. Take the new pin, maneuver the foot peg until you find it. Nice. Install the new cotter pin and bend it over so it won't come out. That's all there is to it. New peg.